Hello, everyone. It's Richard Lewis here with another YouTube video. Different surroundings back in the UK. I'm a little bit sick. You know what it's like when you have those transatlantic flights and you're a crippling alcoholic. Uh, does things to your immune system, obviously. So you'll have to bear with me. But this is a video, obviously. Lots of requests for this one to come in. And obviously, it's about Marc Merrill and what he's been up to. He's at it again, isn't he? He is the gift that keeps on giving, a risible and ridiculous figure who actually just can't stop fucking up. It's quite incredible that solely on the basis of him being the co-founder of Riot Games, he'll always have this involvement in the company. But I think at this point, everyone's just like, well, you fucking just get back in the fucking shadows where you belong. Stay in that fucking alcove.
Go in the room full of money now.
Yeah, just just do the fucking DuckTales. Right? Have a fucking swim in your massive pile of fucking Chinese cash and just stop fucking things up for everybody. Because he is a ridiculous guy. I mean, I've got to say, like everything about this guy is just comical. We go back to the Spectate Faker video, obviously in this channel, comical. We talk about, hey, I'm gonna lift the trophy with you, guy. Fuck off, it's their moment. Get out, get him out. Just everything about him. These recent outbursts. Love me some Reggie. Reggie fucking loves you, motherfucker. We all do. So this guy, just a fucking absolute comedic gold mine. And this was brilliant. I mean, I knew about this in advance, this report, but I wanted Drexin and my old publication, Esports Heaven, to have it. This has been floating out there for a while. And certainly Drexin, who, he got my job. He was one of the guys I earmarked as a replacement to take over Esports Heaven. I got a lot of faith and confidence in him. But he was nervous about publishing this. And why? Because obviously Riot Games are very vindictive, very spiteful. Anyone that says anything negative about them gets put on a naughty list. It doesn't matter how big you are. It doesn't matter what a big deal you are. It doesn't matter what you've done for the game. It doesn't matter, what positives you've contributed. Just ask Monte Cristo. You get fucked. You get put on the naughty list, and that is the end of that. So you have to be a good little boy like Travis, and then maybe you get thrown a few fucking coins off the table. Well,
maybe you got a Maui every other year.
Yeah. Maybe. But you get all the interviews. Like, remember after the Spectate Faker thing? Oh, we'll get a real journalist in to grill him. Let's get Travis. It's Ardley's Frost fucking Nixon, is it? You know what I mean? Anyway, so the story it's on Esports Heaven. I'm presuming you're linking to it, Sam. I trust you. Yeah, good man. Was basically that Marc Merrill, back in Season 2, had ELO boosted his own account. Right? So just think about this. This is a guy who has presided over a disciplinary infrastructure that has issued punishments and penalties to multiple players, obviously very disparate. Penalty, certainly not consistent, because that's the Riot way. Oh, what's that? You play for a big team in NA? Well, the NA office has a lot more sympathy for you. What's that? You're boosting in Europe? Well, fuck you. You're a scumbag. So he has presided over these decisions while actively engaging in that activity himself. Mate, it's fucking hilarious, right? Just do me a favor while I'm chuntering on, by the way, Sam. Google Marc Merrill ELO and start bringing up some tweets, because there's some belters in there. This guy was the founder of the company. And he was and I've talked to a few people from around that time, some people who worked with Riot at that time, some people who, know about the boosting thing and all that bullshit. And they basically said his ego was so fragile that he didn't want people to think he couldn't play his own game. So he was too afraid internally to have his ELO boosted, which he could have done. He could have just had his ELO set to anything. He could have had max permanent ELO, everything. He didn't want to do that because then he thought the staff wouldn't have confidence in him as a leader or something, right? Just an absolute fucking comedy, like just full on David Brent levels of stand, right? You know what I mean? And just
bloody master again, aren't I?
Just bragging on his Twitter. I'm up to 1,570 ELO. I wonder how far I can go if I can push it. Well, let's have a look, mate. Let's have a look at what he means by pushing it. So lo and behold, this report on Esports Heaven basically outlines how he did it. And what he did was there was this other a player called Philip Only Jaximus Carter, who used to be a substitute for Team Curse back in the day. And there was a lot of people who did boosting back then, a lot of pro players, a lot of top streamers. I'd say everybody of note at some point has either done some boosting for a friend or more likely for money. You kind of had to back then. This is kind of the pre-LCS taking off era, pre-real big growth for League of Legends. And then the money just simply wasn't there outside of a very few limited parties. So ELO boosting was always going on. But anyway, so he took this Philip Only Jaximus Carter, and he was getting him to play on another account that he also owned, or sometimes on his own account. It happened multiple times. And what they would do is they would duo together, and Tryndamere, right, with Marc Merrill, would basically rely on only Jaximus to carry the games. So somebody got in touch with Riot Light because they thought Light is such a zealot, there is no way he would be able to live with this. Oh my God, someone is breaking the summoner's code. He get full mad Vietnam levels of fucking PTSD about it. Oh my God, but my boss is breaking the summoner's code. I am so conflicted right now. I must go and meditate on what to do next. So they got in touch with Riot Light because people believed he was the fucking moral compass of Riot Games. He's actually one of the most sleazy, weird, corrupt fucking lunatics they ever employed, actually. We know things about you, Jeffrey. Don't we?
Jeffrey.
What a boy.
Dave.
What a boy he is. So we know about Jeff, right? But, whatever. That's not the story. The point is that they contacted Riot Light, and they said to him, hey, look, mate, have a gander at this. And he said in this email, again, if you want to bring these up, Sam, I'll take a look into it. But there's no reason for Tryndamere to ELO boost because we can literally just give him whatever ELO he wants and full unlocks on his account. But I'll check about the account sharing part. Thanks for raising this, and I'm sure Tryndamere/Jaximus will drop it once I chat with him. So again, Jeffrey there. I'll wag my fucking finger and I went a bit Jimmy Savile there. I'll wag my finger and tell those young men to stop what they're doing. Have you seen this? Glass eye. So... Right, so he says this here. Now, this is interesting in and of itself because in the past, Riot had lied and said there is no way to manually set ELO. That's what they used to tell people outside of it. And that's why they used to say, if bad things happened, an account got hacked, you had someone trolling you and it was disruptive, there was just no way to give you the ELO back. If they had connectivity issues, sorry, we cannot manually give you back the ELO. And of course it was a lie. They just didn't want to do that. They just didn't want to have to deal with the onslaught of people going, every time they felt they got fucking gypped by the system, basically having to ask for their ELO back. But they could. This was actually proven during another hack. I think it was when St. Vicious got his account hacked and didn't someone set his ELO to fucking 0 or something. And he had to work his way back up through the ranks. But this is a long time ago. But I do remember him distinctly streaming in silver and wanting to fucking end his life. Just not having a good time. So, the original mail is in here as well. So I'll just read that for the purposes of completion of the story. Hey, Light, I tried sending a report through support, but I honestly haven't had much luck in doing so. Weird, it's almost as if the people in support didn't want to handle the hot fucking potato of the company co-founder, CEO, fucking breaking the rules. And I'm fairly confident that it's pretty much gotten ignored based on the typical bot response I receive. I reopened my report and it has since been ignored for 5 days, so I figured I'd try emailing you. Basically, I don't want to get this leak out into public knowledge due to the implications that it holds, but I honestly think something needs to be done about this. This report includes summoners Tryndamere, Kyler Dreen, a Smurf belonging to Trynd, Only Jaximus, and Only Smurfimus, a Smurf belonging to Jaximus. I logged on to League October 16th at about 11 p.m. PST and saw that Kyler Dreen, a known Smurf that belongs to Tryndamere, was in-game. So I randomly decided to spectate him. That's cyberbullying, lads. He's had a cyberbully.
Getting too involved. Get him out.
Yeah, get him out. Merrill's the victim. Abort this video. Right. In the loading screen, I saw that both Kyler Dreen and Tryndamere were in the same game together. One playing MF and the other playing Morgana. Immediately, I was concerned. I've been friends with only Jaximus for 1.5 years. I'm very much aware of how often he and Trin play together, and I knew that Jaximus had been recently banned from his main account due to elo boosting. So this is especially interesting. Keep in mind, again, Marc Merrill dispensing punishments for elo boosting, takes a known elo booster who is banned for elo boosting and gives him access to his account. Right? Brilliant. Love that. Nothing hypocritical about that. Right? So, I also know that Trin done banned Jaximus' Smurf. Only Smurfimus, the day he'd been banned, so they could still play together. So again, another wonderful abuse of power. You, me, everybody that plays League of Legends, every time you call someone a useless cunt because they fucking cost you a game, every time, you say to somebody, GG, easy. The ultimate fucking insult. The greatest insult known to man, GG, easy. Literally the fucking harshest 4 letters on planet Earth when assembled, right? We all get banned. There's no chance of an unban. Fuck your appeals process. You're just banned. What's that? All that money you put on the account, well, tough shit. You're going to have to go and spend it all over again. But that's definitely not the financial model we operate on or anything. We're not doing it because of that. We're really doing it because of the principle. Well, fuck the principle. Hey, you're a non-elo booster. Shit, and I like playing with you because I win games when I play with you. So I'm going to unban your banned account that was banned for elo boosting so we can still play it together. And do you know what? Here, play on mine and fucking boost both at the same time. We'll do a double boost, yeah? Marc Merrill, ladies and gentlemen. A man whose head is so full of shit, he didn't see the problem in any of this. As a CEO of a company who have founded themselves on the fucking principles of wanting to implement a system. They wanted to do it. I don't give a fuck. This is their principle. That all gamers are going to be treated equal and we're all going to live in a fucking Shangri-La where no one insults each other, everything's fair, and we're all in one giant competitive ladder together and we all must respect each other. They just pissed all over that, by the way. His founding principle. Just unzip the flies. And hot stream of urine. Yeah. All over. Principles. Go on. Shake the last drop off on his moral cord. Oh, yeah. Gotta love it, right? How little it fucking means to him. Anyways, I left the spectate telling myself that I should just ignore it and leave it alone. But it was really eating at me, as it should. I ended up messaging Kyla Dreen merely to show my disapproval of the situation, only to have the response of, this is only Jaximus Hui. And there is a screenshot attached. And there was a screenshot of this, I've seen it. Also, this game happened to be a ranked game, in which they were duo queuing on 2 accounts that belonged to Tryndamere. Before a few games of doing this, they had only been playing together on only Smurfimus and Tryndamere. Also duo queuing ranked together. Screenshots also attached. However, I can only assume that at some point, one of them decided that they should effectively boost Kyla Dreen since they were playing together anyways, instead of using an already 2K elo account that was Jaximus' Smurf. The nail in the coffin, or so to speak, is that once I had discovered what they had been doing and confronted them, Kyla Dreen immediately swapped over to only Smurfimus after the game was over. I'm sure you could track his IP address, and I assume he's already been underwatched. Was elo boosting history? Well, yeah, he was fucking banned, mate. Of course he was. I don't understand just how cocky Jaximus can be to actually blatantly admit to me who he is while he's on Trin's account. It's flabbergasting. I'm honestly not sure what else to say. It's pretty obvious that Trind was getting his account boosted by Jaximus while they were also playing together, and thus he must have shared his account information with him. I guess I'm just glad that I caught them before more than a couple of games could be done. As a player that has known both of these people for a long time, it's very disappointing to see such behaviour, and it concerns me, especially because he's the president of the company, and I'd hope that he wouldn't endorse such a thing as sharing accounts or boosting when he speaks out against it in public. I know you guys aren't allowed to relay specifics, but an actual response would be greatly appreciated. I just need a human being to respond with something, put my mind at ease about this entire situation, send me feeling like everything is being swept under the rug. Thanks for your time. I appreciate this. So on it goes. And then Light says, he gets back to him after that thing, the earlier reply, and he says, this is completely confidential. In other words, at this point, he is now validating that, yep, Marc Merrill's done it. He's only gone and done it. The absolute madman. Yeg and myself will talk to Tryndamere about it independently, and we'll just say we noticed it from our elo boosting analysis. So basically just going to say, you didn't get ratted out by anyone. Because obviously, again, what I love about this email is this is a tacit admission of basically saying, yeah, if Marc Merrill finds out about this, he will fucking, absolutely wreck your arsehole. He will be vindictive and spiteful. So we need to protect your identity.
Witness protection program.
Yes, you are in the Riot Witness Protection, the Light Witness Protection Scheme. You'll love it there, right? So he's actually admitting that we have to keep you anonymous, even though I don't even think that was said in his email. He didn't say, please don't rat me out. He just said, I want you to know about it. So he said, yeah, we'll talk to Tryndamere and say we noticed it from our own elo boosting. And then again, an update. He says, I just want to give you an update. Zilius, Vice President of Game Design, Pendragon, we all remember him, and I talked to Tryndamere today. Tryndamere agreed it was very poor judgment. Just imagine this, right? Imagine how fucked up everyone is at Riot Games. This is the vintage cult era, by the way. Like, the levels of cultishness and creepiness are starting to die off now, right? But this is back in the vintage era when they just had a bunch of fucking absolute buttes just all in a room together, and they staged an intervention of elo boosting. Was so disappointed in you. Like, what is this shit? What is this? Zilius, Pendragon, and I talked to Tryndamere today. Tryndamere agreed it was very poor judgment. He wept in his hands. Oh, God. Oh, God.
I'm glad you finally caught me.
I bet it was like that fucking longest cry one. I know, somewhere in my heart, I still love you. Fucking get a grip, Marc Merrill. Tryndamere agreed it was very poor judgment, wanted to reach out and give you a personal phone call or talk to you online. But I said, what a fucking mess. What a mess. Oh, by the way, yeah, I realised it was poor judgment. And can I just get the phone number of the dude who ratted me out, please? No. You fucking sociopath. No. You can't have the phone number, you fucking weirdo. This is the guy talking about cyberbullying. If you spectate the best fucking player in League of Legends history, you're cyberbullying him. Can I have the phone number of that guy who ratted me out? I just want to give him a personal call. Are you fucking mentally ill? It's unbelievable. Yeah, that was poor judgment, that thing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ring that cunt and give him a piece of my mind. Unbelievable. Yeg and I looked into the case, and it doesn't look like it was for elo boosting for many reasons. It was like, whatever. It looks like they just want to play some games together, and Jackson was his account's mostly banned. Looks like he unbanned the account, though, mate. So
except for that account that got unbanned, so he couldn't play together.
He manually unbanned. Yep, so,
reasonable.
And you can see there's a definition of elo boosting in the report, right? Which is taken from a competitive ruling in 2013. And that's the point where they retroactively punished players for boosting back in Season 2. And they said elo boosting is the repetitive and intentional act of an individual playing on someone else's account for the purpose of artificially improving the client's elo rating. Guess it was elo boosting light. There is no minimum number of games required to be played, nor a minimum amount of elo gain necessarily to qualify as elo boosting. An attempt to boost elo need not be successful in order to qualify as a violation. So you don't even have to boost someone's elo to be elo boosting. The following also constitutes elo boosting: playing on a less skilled player's account, that's you, Tryndamere, you shitbag, while the less skilled player accompanies you in duo queue games. The following does not constitute elo boosting: permanently transferring a high elo account to a less skilled player. This is illegal, but it's in the nature of account sharing and or account selling. It is not account boosting. And like I say, a bunch of motherfuckers got wrecked with this. They got wrecked in Season 2. And like I say, everybody did it back then. But Marc Merrill, they were happy to issue those punishments. And again, there's some more stuff here that I was talking about. Where he's like, oh, yeah, bloody hell. I'm back to 16. What kind of fucking shallow... I can't even understand this. Like, I just can't understand it. Mate, you're a fucking millionaire. You've got it all, mate. Why are you tweeting about your elo in a game you own where you can manually set your elo? What is this? And it's like, He legitimately wanted to impress people with his fucking... Why? Like, why? Why? Have you seen the people that are good at your game, Mark? Have you seen them? Come on, mate. Come on. You need another intervention, Mark. So anyway, and I just want to say, well, actually, no, I'll read this bit about Light first. It's pretty funny. The last Light email, because it's cringe. If you're ever at an event in Riot, is that at the future, please do come by and say hello. It's important that players like you trust us to make the right call, and I'm happy you reached out to me. One of the best parts about Riot is that people like me can go tap on Trindamir's shoulder and talk to him about something like this, and immediately he'll be like, "Doh, yeah, that was a really bad call by me. Sorry." Brilliant. What a fucking great company. Thank God you were there for them, Light, to save them all and guide them away from making bad decisions. But anyway, look, I don't care about the elo boosting per se. I don't give a fuck. I lend people my account all the fucking time, right? Like, literally, like, I've got 4 accounts or something, I think. I'll just give them out. I don't have time to play the games. It's not even about elo boosting. Sometimes the player's better. Sometimes they're worse. Sometimes people just want to have rage games. They can't rage on their own account. They go rage on mine. I come back. It's banned or it's chat suspended. I don't give a fuck. I've been chat suspended and chat banned. People have watched me play. It's a fucking computer game. I don't care. I don't care. I don't treat it sacredly. You know, it's my account, my responsibility. Sure, if it gets banned or hacked or whatever, whoopsie, my own fault, right? But and again, I'd never condemn anyone for that. But if you're the fucking president of a company and you're giving out punishments and you're lecturing people and fucking all of this nonsense, then obviously you've got to fucking walk the walk if you're going to talk the talk. That's just how it should be in all elements of corporate life. So anyway, bottom line is, this story goes out, makes the front page of Reddit. I'm sure the Reddit mods had a fucking quick think, how are we going to delete this? How the fuck are we getting rid of this one? But it turns out, actually, Marc Merrill has pissed off the Reddit mods so much lately with his general cuntishness behavior out in Ice Frog's name, which, according to Reddit, is actually doxing. I don't think it's doxing, but Reddit rules, right? I'm a doxer, apparently. We're all doxers. I use a fucking mod's first name in an email or a DM. You're a doxer. You're a doxer. I messaged someone on Facebook for an unrelated story, politely asking if they will contact me. You doxed me. It's creepy. Says, what's good for the goose has got to be good for the gander. So I think, like, obviously, the Reddit mods were just pissed off because every time now it's like, why aren't you banning Marc Merrill? He links to comments on his Twitter. He's doxed people. He's been abusive. You know, all of this shit. He's broken all the rules, and of course they can't ban him. It's Marc Merrill. Without Riot engagement with that subreddit's kind of pointless. And I said, actually, if Riot were thinking cleverly, what they would do is they would refuse to engage with the subreddit. They would fucking, just because it's big, they've got to bite the bullet now, take it back, and just be like, look, teams, you don't post on that subreddit. You do an AMA, you do it on the Riot forums. If they did that, you kill that subreddit stone dead. You don't have to deal with a bunch of fucking idiots anymore. But all right, okay, we got to play ball because subreddit's pretty big. All right, I get it. So I don't think they like him at the moment. So they weren't going to give him any protection for this. So it was just up there, fully crucified. And of course, everyone was tweeting at him, calling him a joke. It's been a real bad time. You had all the Monty drama, all the Love Me Some Reggie drama. This guy's just continually dragging Riot through the mud. So he popped a tweet out, obviously. And can you read it for me, Sam? Because for some reason, Marc Merrill has me blocked.
Yeah, sure. It says, appropriately called out for account sharing in 2012. We do think it's not cool, so donating, finding myself 10k to City URL.
Yeah. Well, so fair enough, you might say. Well, he's donated 10 grand. I mean, that's a pretty hefty fine. You know, the people who did get done for elo boost and didn't pay that much. So that's fine. But then here's the problem with that. So... sorry, mate, I didn't link this to you. But if you can bring it up, right? He's on the board of the charity he donated to. City Year, it's called. So I'm sure you can get that.
Yeah.
So let me know when that's up. But you'll see on the list of board members that he's actually there. And it's a charity that, you know, he sits with. Now, I'm guessing it's a non-paid board position. I'd certainly like to think it is. And you do see a lot of charities. Sometimes you have paid, board members, paid executives in charities. Obviously, charities got to, they've got to run. They need, competent people to run them. That's fine. Again, no one's saying there's anything illegal or fucked up going on here. It's just kind of a little bit weird, really. That all the charities I could give to, I'm going to give to this one that I sit on the board of, right? And why it's especially crazy is if you look in the PDF files for donations, he donates 10 grand to them pretty much on an annual basis anyway. It's not really a fine, is it? He's not really fined himself. What he's done is he said, well, I was going to give him 10 grand, so I'll give him that 10 grand and I'll say it's for this. Good job, right? So absolutely zero contrition, zero awareness still. Just when you think the penny's fucking dropping in the Marc Merrill piggy bank, cha-ching, you think it's going to fucking... Nah, penny ain't dropping, mate. The only thing he's dropping is fucking acid because he's out of his mind. He thinks, I'll just donate 10 fucking grand to a charity I'm on the board of. No one will notice this. No one will possibly Google the charity City Year. Nobody would do that. Nobody would Google City Year and find out I'm a board member. Now, here's the thing, right? I know Riot's done a lot of good fucking work with, like, the Make-A-Wish Foundation and just other good charities. Like, for me, I want charity to have a, more direct kind of impact on something. Like, I want to know that it's going to somebody who is absolutely deserving of it. Now, City Year, and again, it's interesting, actually, on the description of Marc Merrill's involvement, he says that he gets Riot employees to go and do voluntary work for City Year, which I also think is pretty hilarious. Welcome to Riot. Let's go do some landscaping. Fuck off. Right, brilliant. Love it here, mate. So, right. We're going to be designing games? Nah. First order of the day is I promised City Year you go do some voluntary work. So there you go. So, they do various work. They do various voluntary work. They also do canvassing, do fundraising. A lot of people said, if you look up who they are, they walk around in these, funnily enough, distinctive red outfits, right? And they basically, with clipboards and like, hey, man, got any money for charity? No, I got no money, mate. Oh, but if you haven't got any money, what about a credit card number? No, I don't want to do credit card numbers. What I can do is I can give you a fucking poster. Look, motherfucker, they're those guys. They're those guys. And here's the thing. Charity's hard, especially in austere times. People are inherently selfish. I get that, fundraising's hard. I live in a big city. I see people out there pounding the fucking beat, and sometimes people just fucking snap and flip at them, and they're just trying to do their job. Some of these people get paid nothing. It's commission only, or they get paid a pittance. It's really fucked up. So I'm sympathetic, but equally as well, let's be honest, it is kind of a little bit fucking annoying, isn't it? When you got some motherfucker all up in your grill. Like, put it this way, Sam, tangent incoming. The worst one for me, walking back through Birmingham City Centre.
Right.
And, not far from New Street, before they rebuilt New Street to literally be the Eye of Sauron.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know why they did that. We've already fucking Mordor up past Victoria Square. I keep my Tolkien's from fucking Birmingham. This is like... Mordor is pretty much based on it. I'm sure about that. So I'm walking back with the city centre, and this dude comes up, and he's there, all hipster, like, with his fucking torn T-shirt that barely covers his
festival bands on his hand,
emaciated frame. Or is it a beard, or is it chest hair that's just somehow got glued to his face? Who knows? You know what I mean? And he comes over to me, and we've made the eye contact, so we're in the dance of death already. The fucking avoidance tango. How do I fucking avoid you? Like, and he's walking towards me like, is there any way I can fucking, nope. Trash teams. We're in, right? So I've got to have a talk with a cunt. And he opens up with the sentence to end all sentences. He goes, so, just a quick question for you. Homelessness, good thing or bad thing?
Yeah.
Legit, mate. Legit, that's his pitch.
Shouldn't have sitting with a good thing throwing him off.
So, homelessness, good thing or bad thing? I was fucking, come on, mate. So obviously, I humoured him. Bad thing. And he goes, so what do you do about it? And obviously, I've done voluntary work with the homeless. I make a point of, occasionally, if I'm bored of a night, might go out, find some old clothes lying around, give them some clothes, take some blankets, take some food. I've done shit like that. I worked at fucking, hostels, shelters. Just on the side when I can, Certainly always give money whenever I see them. Like, why not? It's a quid to me. It can make a big difference to people. And, just the fucking idea that some cunt who's doing a gap year, right, thinks walking around in the town with a clipboard and raising charity, that's it now. He's absolved. There you go, mate. Yep, you can spit on them now, mate. You've done your bit. Yeah? Next time you see someone fucking dancing for pennies on a street corner because he hasn't eaten for 4 days, you can fucking walk on by because you held the clipboard for a little bit. Just the fucking nerve of it all. Yeah, I couldn't believe it anyway. So, that's what City Year does. They do other stuff. But if you were to do an exercise here, and it's just so perfect that it's this charity Marc Merrill's into, I want you all to do this. Put the words, is City Year A. So is City Year A in Google. Do it now. What's that first thing that pops up? What's the word, Sam, that pops up after that? First word.
Is City Year a cult?
Is it a cult? It's the question on everyone's lips. Because here we've been saying how fucking weird Riot Games is for years. Me and you have been talking about that on our shows. How fucking weird is it? Marc Merrill only fucking sits on a fucking board of a charity. That's also accused of being a cult. It's just too good. It's too perfect, mate. It's too perfect.
This is better writing than Grosko.
Oh, mate, it's unreal.
It's a new favourite series.
It's like HBO on fucking steroids. It's got it all. It's like the second season of Fringe. You know what I mean? My mind is bored. Leonard Nimoy's there, and my mind, like, what is happening here, right? I thought we'd do a little bit of research into City Year, and it's just for our own amusement. I'm sure they're a charity and they've done a lot of good work. They are a cult, right? But no, I'm fucking weird. I don't know if they're a cult. Never been in them, right?
Can't get into cults that easily.
It's so hard for me. Start doing that fucking deprogramming. I'm not doing it. Come on, yeah. Mate. I've had to deal with Riot Games for like fucking 5 years. I'm fucking, your Jedi mind bullshit won't work on me, mate. So anyway, I fucking had a look into them, and there's some cracking fucking bits here. There's a website called liberationnews.org. The truth about City Year, exploiting idealism. And this is basically an account of how City Year kind of, brings in these volunteers. And they're already having problems, like they're already up against it because they're, young and they're facing, unemployment, all the problems. And they get in and they just fucking earn terrible stipends for the work they do. Says here they earn a stipend of $275 a week and they're expected to cover all their costs and stuff. So they bring in a bunch of idealists, and just listen to this. We core members live in poverty. We work 10 to 12-hour days, 5 or sometimes 6 days a week. We get no benefits. We're forced to rely on food stamps or eat leftover food from the cafeterias of the schools that we do voluntary work in. And then, if this is not enough of an insult, the government taxes the $275 they get. And they've got no employee rights. So they get no right to free speech protection, no labor protection laws. Under the AmeriCorps Service Agreement, City Year is exempt from labor laws. So it doesn't even get a minimum wage. They can't have a free speech. They can't organize a union. And any City Year employee who speaks out against the conditions they work under could face legal consequences. Oh, what does this sound like? Which company does this sound like? Hands up, anyone. Meanwhile, the supreme idealist himself, Michael Brown, gets $370,000 salary a year. Right? That's unreal. So there's a fucking great article there to read. There's a testimony here. I don't know. I'll read the testimony. Fuck it. The video's going long, folks. We're going long. right? Because it's just so fucking good. I mean, it's horrible, but it's good, right? So, demoralization and anger is the fucking heading, right? The following testimony from a 23-year-old worker captures the city year reality. I have been so overwhelmed with work and deprived of sleep that I've caught myself sleepwalking in school hallways. I have snapped at the children I was serving and have been completely disengaged due to extreme exhaustion. I've stayed countless late nights at the office on 22nd Street until 9 p.m. trying to complete lesson plans and meet deadlines, arriving home in Brownsville, New York at 11 p.m. and then up again at 4:30 a.m. My phone service was cut off because the city year pay wasn't enough. After all the 90-plus minute commutes, faking a smile in front of the school for the school community during morning greeting, wiping tables, managing the behavior of hundreds of screaming students in the cafeteria, stopping fights, consoling crying children, preparing lesson plans in 4 subject areas, collecting and grading assignments, proctoring tests, hall monitoring, doing pull-out interventions, spending my own money on incentive systems, checking classwork, serving lunch, picking up trash, monitoring recess, escorting children to the nurse, facilitating after-school lesson plans, event planning, facilitating team building activities, entering data, compiling student assessments, translating, calling parents about attendance, informing parents on a child's progress during conferences, referring children to special services such as school social workers, organizing award events, and so much more. I mean, fucking hell, how much more is there, mate? This cunt may as well stick a broom up his ass and sweep the floors while he's doing it. After all of this, I am told when I voice a complaint to managers to shut up and take it because I'm not an employee. I am not even a volunteer. I am a worker and my work matters. So, city year bigwigs, basically, it says in the next line, argue that if they dedicate more funds to the stipends, they can't recruit as many members. Funny that. So read that. That's interesting. And then there's a bunch of demands at the end, right? But this is fucking cracking, right? So there was this thing called, it was an Ask Reddit thread. It says, anyone familiar with City Year? They sound great, but I have some concerns. I mean, I don't know if they do sound great, mate, but whatever. Your opinion. I interviewed with them yesterday, and it seemed to go very well. Of course it does, mate. You're doing voluntary work. How do you fuck up that interview? We're going to pay you less than minimum wage to do all sorts of work to further our charitable ends and grow our reputation. What do you have to do with that interview to fuck that up? Like, shit in your hands and start clapping? Like, is that it? I interviewed with them yesterday, and it seemed to go very well. However, we made a point of stressing that city year culture is extremely important and that core members are expected to abstain from alcohol, gum chewing, headphone wearing, and other activities during the duration of the service, both inside and outside of work. So think about that. While you're a core member, as they're called, while you're in city year, you have to abstain from alcohol, abstain from chewing gum, abstain from wearing headphones while you're inside and outside of work. So basically, for the year that you've signed up to this shit, you can't do any of that. And then, right, he goes, it seemed a bit bizarre. I also know there is an emphasis on team building exercises, right? Now, we love we love a good team building exercise, don't we, Sam? You know, bit of laser tag, right?
Yeah, paintball.
Build a bridge out of paper mache and see how much weight it can hold. You know, we've all done that shit, right? Game of Counter-Strike. Team building. Team building exercises like morning chanting. I'm out. You sit here, I'm out. What? Let's all get together for a morning. What the fuck is this, mate? What the fuck is this? Like, is this fucking real? Oh,
mouth breathers.
Around. Like, I started having a look. I couldn't fucking believe it, mate. Because I just thought this is all too good. This is all too fucking good. I had a look on Glassdoor and that, right? One of the main reviews was City Year, a cult, doesn't recommend. I mean, there's a lot of people who do recommend it, right? I am cherry picking, I'll admit that, right? There's a lot of people who say a lot of good things about it. But obviously, it's very divisive. There's people who go in and say it's a cult and say it's shit, and there's people who fucking drink the Kool-Aid and are like, yeah, it's just amazing, it's great, it helped me build up my self-esteem. Look, I had a uniform and everything. And, you know, you think about like this, I don't know, this fucking. Well, there's just numerous psychological tests, isn't there? You know, it shows that people want to be indoctrinated. They just want to be part of something. You know, Stanford prison experiment for one. You know, that's a famous one. People just want to belong, want to have power, want to have influence, want to have an effective fucking physical presence. So you chuck someone a red fucking uniform and you say, go pick up that fucking dog shit over there. Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, keep picking up that dog shit and maybe one day you'll have my job. Brilliant. Love this. Like, just people fucked in the head. You know what I mean? Like, some people, they just look like that's the kind of life they want to lead. So we managed to find a fucking recruitment video for City Year. And let me just fucking play this, mate. It's 2 minutes of fucking gold. If you guys aren't fucking creeped out by this, fuck you, don't watch my channel.
1, 2, 3, right. Step on into my world.
If you want a job where every day you go there it's the same and you always know what to expect, then City Year is not for you. Because when you're working with 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds, no day is ever the same.
I think every high school senior, every college graduate should do a year of service, especially through City Year. City Year prepares you for the world.
For all you college students out there, I think, especially college students of color, I think this is a great opportunity for you to get into City Year or an organization where you mentor and tutor kids in your community.
I highly encourage everybody to do City Year, at least for 1 year, just to see how it is.
I have friends who work in the private sector, and I'm sure someday I will too, but I can't think of any greater responsibility than helping people get their lives going again.
If you join City Year, you're going to feel great about being a part of the Red Jackets in our communities.
For me, the Red Jacket is about shedding our personal skins and taking on a universal skin. It's about creating one world, and your work is going to be powerful.
As a parent, I would really appeal to you moms and dads to really consider this program and to see what City Year can do for your son or daughter and how it can truly help them grow as an individual.
I know that there are a lot of empowered youth out there, and I've met many of them myself, so I would like to extend an open invitation to join City Year.
I would say that it's an experience that you can't really describe, but one that you will never forget.
Shine on through tomorrow. Shine on all the way. You're fine without you. You can't keep a good man down. Right on through the rain. Join.
So there you have it. I personally think that's a little bit creepy. And then again, in another testimonial that we found on Reddit, it's just 7 months old, posted in the AmeriCorps subreddit, and it's people saying accepted the City Year, unsure. There was a reply in there to someone that obviously worked in the City Year, and they complain about the same thing, the stipend not being enough, all the expenses they had to cover themselves, how they had to get a part-time job in Starbucks, and how they do not recommend City Year. And this is the key thing. A lot of people turn evangelical about it, it says, which is what the program seems to want the culture to be like. The culture was simultaneously cult-like and military-like, with the daily cheers. I presume that's chores. I mean, I don't know anymore. Maybe that's part of the chanting. Yay! Like loads of times just to feel God. No. He goes, strict uniform requirements and strict rules to get everyone to fall in line. There were also weird and uncomfortable diversity requirements. One of the mantras was pack accordingly when going on service day trips, meaning the van should include representative members of all race, so it doesn't just look like a bunch of white people. It's fucked up, weird, enforced diversity. Like, what happens if there's like just no black guys around? What do? Like, do you co-opt some? I don't know. Well, how fucking weird and insulting is that? Like that mad tokenism, grotesque. So there you go, City Year. Folks, absolutely sounds insane to me with all the things I've been reading and the videos I've been watching. That's just a thought. So basically, it's a twofer. You know, it's great. We get to laugh at Marc Merrill for elo boosting his own account, despite the fact that he could have fucking said it to anything he wanted at any time. Now, finding himself 10 grand, which he decides to give to a charity that he's the board member of and gives 10 grand to anyway, just as par for the course. And it turns out they're a bit of a cult. They're a bit weird. So, what an amazing story, isn't it? From start to fucking finish. You couldn't make this up. I couldn't have made this up. So yeah, I thought it was great. I think it's been a roller coaster ride, Sam.
And all of it goes downwards into shit.
Absolutely. So anyway, as you can see, back in the UK, got my setup here. Still going to be making videos. Going to try and pump out a few over the next couple of days before I fly back to America for good. You'll see some boxes. In the process of packing and doing all that shit, and I'm back for a friend's wedding, so I've got to go out and get sourced up. So you'll probably see a few videos where I'm wearing the same clothes. Try and have a willing suspension of disbelief when you see that. I'm not just a scruffy twat. I just recorded all the videos in one day, honest. But anyway, until the next video, take care.